Declan Rice, Bukayosaka, Eze and Madueke have all been called up by England for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The quartet of stars have been selected in Thomas Tuchel's 26-man squad for this summer's tournament, taking place in Canada, Mexico and the USA, where England will take on Ghana, Croatia and Panama in their group, with matches taking place in Texas, Boston and New Jersey. Midfielder Rice was a key cog in the qualifying campaign, starting 7 of the 8 matches. Our number 41 also found the net in our 2-0 victory over Andorra at Villa Park. There were plenty of gunners in the goals during the qualifiers. Only Harry Kane scored more times than Eze for the Three Lions, who found the net in 3-0 and 5-0 wins over Latvia, as well as the 2-0 victory over Serbia at the Wembley Stadium. It was a memorable campaign for Madueke, who netted his first England goal just 2 months after joining us from Chelsea in 2025. It will be Noni's first major tournament with England. Lastly, Bukayosaka will be heading to his 4th major tournament with the Three Lions. Our Hale End graduate netted a fine strike in the victory over Serbia, taking his overall tally for England to 14 ahead of the finals. England will take on New Zealand and Costa Rica into warm-up fixtures before facing Croatia on June 17th in their World Cup opener. Goalkeepers: Jordan Pickford Everton, Dean Henderson Crystal Palace, James Trafford Manchester City. Defenders: Dan Burn Newcastle United, Mark Gahey Manchester City, Reece James Chelsea, Ezri Konsa Aston Villa, Tino Livramento Newcastle United, Nick O'Reilly Manchester City, Yorel Quansah Bayer Leverkusen, Jed Spence Tottenham, John Stones Manchester City. Midfielders: Elliot Anderson Nottingham Forest, Jude Bellingham Real Madrid, Eze Arsenal, Jordan Henderson Brentford, Kobbie Mainoo Manchester United, Declan Rice Arsenal, Morgan Rogers Aston Villa. Attackers: Anthony Gordon Newcastle United, Harry Kane Bayern Munich, Noni Madueke Arsenal, Marcus Rashford Barcelona, Bukayosaka Arsenal, Ivan Toney Al-Ahly, Ollie Watkins Aston Villa. England have confirmed their World Cup squad for the 2026 tournament this summer, with Arsenal quartet Eze, Bukayosaka, Noni Madueke and Declan Rice all making the final cut. Unfortunately, Miles Lewis-Skelly has missed out, despite his recent return to the team with Arsenal. The young midfielder, left-back, had been warned by Thomas Tuchel over the last break that he wouldn't be called up, he wasn't playing, and despite making a few starts over the last month, he clearly wasn't involved enough for Tuchel's liking. Saka and Rice would always have expected to be called up for the squad, considering they're nailed-on starters when available. Eze and Madueke might have been less sure of their spots, but the pair have performed well for England in recent breaks. The 4 call-ups bring England's total to 11, with the full list shown below, as well as the countries with Arsenal internationals still yet to confirm their final squads. Thomas Tuchel has named his England squad for this summer's World Cup, handing a shock call-up to Ivan Toney, picking Jed Spence over the exiled Trent Alexander-Arnold and, as expected, finding no space for Harry Maguire, Cole Palmer and Phil Foden. Tuchel, charged with leading England to glory in Canada, Mexico and the US, called players about his plans on Wednesday and Thursday, and confirmed his selection on Friday. The German has gone against the public mood with some calls, not least with the decision to bring in Toney from the cold. The Al-Ahly striker has not played for England since June 2025, but has scored 42 goals for the Saudi Pro League side this season and was part of Gareth Southgate's squad in Euro 2024. Tuchel admitted he did not expect to pick Toney and said he had consulted the striker's club manager, Matthias Jasel. A bit of a surprise to us, but when it came down to all different kinds of scenarios, he was back in the picture. I had fantastic feedback from his club coach, who was my player. He still collects the numbers. I think he has very special skills, meaning the scenario where we are chasing a result, he can be a presence in the box when we are pushing for a goal. He can take attention off other strikers. He has a natural presence. He's a natural finisher. He is very strong in the air, and he is a world-class penalty taker. Tuchel, perhaps surprisingly, has picked two strikers to provide cover for a Harry Kane, with Aston Villa's Ollie Watkins also included. That meant the available slots in the number 10 position went to Jude Bellingham, Morgan Rogers and Eberechi Eze, leaving no room for Palmer and Foden after disappointing seasons for Chelsea and Manchester City respectively. Palmer has struggled for form and fitness, and Tuchel is thought to have reservations over whether the 24-year-old has the personality for a camp that could last 7 weeks. Tuchel believes Bellingham and Rogers can bring the best out of each other. They can play together, he said. If they compete for one position, it is possible to compete as accomplices, not enemies. Jude and Morgan are friends anyway. It is possible to fight, but still support your friend. We took a lot of care about that. That this energy is right. Creating the right environment in the camp was a huge priority for Tuchel, who did not hesitate to leave out some of the country's biggest talents. I think from day one, we were very clear we were trying to select and build the best possible team, he said. It is not necessarily to select the most talented 26 players. Teams win championships. With Morgan Gibbs-White also excluded, Tuchel has not been afraid to make some unpopular decisions. There will be many England fans wondering why Alexander-Arnold has not made the cut. The Real Madrid right-back has not been in a squad since last June, though, and Tuchel has gone on the record to say he does not trust him defensively. Alexander-Arnold was so low down the pecking order that the last name to be confirmed in the squad was Spence, who has been in and out of the Tottenham side this season. Spence also sustained a broken jaw after being fouled by Chelsea's Liam Delap on Tuesday. The other fullbacks are Reece James, Tino Livramento and Nick O'Reilly. Luke Shaw and Miles Lewis-Skelly can consider themselves unfortunate not to be included. Maguire, who has 66 caps, was less than impressed to be left out. The United centre-back said he was shocked and gutted on Thursday evening, and there were angry social media posts from some members of his family. With Maguire excluded, Tuchel's centre-backs are John Stones, Dan Burn, Ezri Konsa, Mark Gehi and Yorel Quansah. Konsa and Quansah can cover at right-back and Burn can play on the left. There was an insistence that it was not a risk to take Stones. Otherwise, I would not have picked him, Tuchel said. He is a world-class player. He knows how to adapt to a winning culture.